This is the Courier 13 podcast with Winter Andrews, a weekly think tank of in-depth conversations among rising filmmakers. My goal with this show is to showcase the innovative talent and ideas that Hollywood hasn't discovered yet. Hey everybody, welcome to the Courier. Actually, why don't you? You should introduce the show.
Oh, okay. Well, let's start off with some ASMR. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Courier.
Babe, no one wants to hear that. Well, guys, welcome to the Courier 13 podcast. This is my lovely girlfriend, Nia. She is actually not a filmmaker, but she is the guest on the show today. This is actually a really special episode. Thank you for being on, honey. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So, what do you want to talk about? What's on your mind, babe?
I'd say we talk about movies.
Oh, what kind of movies, babe?
I don't know. We can talk about the movies on this poster here.
Oh yeah. Can they see that? Can they see?
Kind of.
A little bit. There's Nia got me this really awesome gift. Here it is. This is for Christmas. So this is like a scratch board for movies. Like this is the top 100 movies from IMDb. And basically, if you have seen the movie, which I've seen a couple of these.
A lot.
Yeah, you got to scratch them off, and then it'll reveal. I did this with the Apocalypse Now one, but it reveals like a colored version of the movie poster. I want to watch all these with you, and then we can scratch all of them off.
Yeah, you've seen. I feel like the majority of them. I've seen about.
Well, there's like
a fraction.
There's like 20 of them that I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some of them that I've heard about, and I know I should have seen, but I haven't seen yet, and I'm excited that we're gonna watch them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, have you seen Your Name?
No.
You would love that. You would love that.
What's it about?
It's this really great animated film about these lovers.
Mm-hmm.
And they meet by like a chance encounter, and they essentially they meet up, and essentially they're like, it's been a while since I've watched the movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's this asteroid that comes down and it like obliterates the town, but then and it kills. I forget if it kills either the guy or the girl, but one of them dies.
Spoiler.
Sorry, but then through love and transcending consciousness, the other partner goes back and goes to the journey back in time to try to save that person from that event. It's really good. You love that.
Surprised about some of the movies like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I mean, I thought it was a really good movie, but I'm just surprised with some. WALL-E.
Do you like WALL-E?
Yeah.
You've never told me this before.
I mean, I don't love it, but it was a good movie.
What movies do you love? Like, what movies you just adore? You can't. If there could only be that movie to ever exist, which one would it be?
I don't know. I don't have any movies.
You don't have any? Okay, what's one that you like?
Wait, no, I really like Toy Story.
So that's it. Toy Story.
That's one of them. Yeah, it's just like a really cute movie. Oh, I don't want to say it was a Disney movie. So I'm a kid. I really like Parasite. That was a good movie.
Why Parasite? I agree with you. It is a good movie, but why? Why did that movie start with you?
because of the messages that were in it and the symbolism and everything. And also it was filmed just very beautifully, all the scenes.
It was, yeah.
Because it was really cool how they had the main family, the family
yeah.
It was said that when they had their scenes in their home that was in that basement, the shots were like more constricted. Where when you had the other family, like the richer family, it was really like
wide and spacious, and it felt very non-constricted.
And that was cool because
that is a very good filmmaking observation, babe. Wow.
I found out about that on Reddit.
But once you figured that out, did you recognize that though? Like looking back on
it. Yeah.
I'm trying to give you like pointers here, like points here, and you're like not.
Oh, I'll take them.
You're not. No, you gotta take the points.
I mean, so every time I watch a really good movie, I go to Reddit and I see everyone else's.
People.
What is one of those people?
I mean, well, like you'll go to. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Like I'm not dissing anyone who does that. I'm not dissing you, babe. I'm just saying, like. I know I don't do that, but I know people who do that.
I mean, I have my own thoughts and opinions.
Yeah, I know.
But when I do go on Reddit, I see even more.
Right, you want to get the collective.
Yeah. So
the collective observations. Yeah.
There was also that weird movie on Netflix. What was it called? I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Oh,
that really strange movie.
That was interesting.
I didn't understand it at all, and then when I went on Reddit, I realized nobody else understood it. So yeah. Sorry.
Oh, baby, don't play with the microphone. You might break the microphone.
Edit this part out, but I'm gonna say you're not my dad.
Oh my God, we're not editing that out. You think that's the thing. You feel I don't know. She thinks that every time she does something funny or kooky that I'm gonna edit out. No, that's the stuff I'm gonna say. That's the morsels. That's the golden nuggets that I'm saving. So keep being silly, baby. Keep being silly. So, what were we talking about? We were talking about you going on Reddit.
Yeah, and I was talking about that movie. I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Yeah, I liked it. I know a lot of people didn't. A lot of people were like, "This is just poetic nonsense," and it kind of is.
In the beginning of I'm Thinking of Ending Things, I thought it had a lot of potential, but then towards the end, there's just a lot of strange things.
I thought the ending was the best part.
I didn't understand it.
It was like it was abstractions of his life. Like it felt like he was reevaluating emotions and past trauma, but it was like he was evaluating them through dreams and misperceptions of his own memory. That makes sense.
What do you think about this? I mean, but what do you think about the scene when they had the young couple and they were dancing throughout the hallway?
Yeah. You know what I thought that was? I thought that was he was like living in that moment he was like trying to view his life as like a Disney movie. Like where the guy does get the girl that he wanted and that they have this dance and then the villain comes in at the very end, but the villain wins at the end. You know, like it felt like they were going through the motions of like a Disney movie. But the villain was him, right? The villain was his real self, not his imagined self. His imagined self was the young, dashing gentleman who was dancing with this lovely girl. But then his old self, his real self, that actually like the person he became, then came and fucked it all up. Yeah, I get, which again, very sad, but I think that's what it was trying to say. Then again, it doesn't matter if I'm right or you're right, or if I'm wrong or you're wrong. It's just like that movie was purposely meant for you to be able to examine it in like 1,000 different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I liked about it.
I thought it was gonna end up being a horror movie.
Oh,
Especially when they were at the ice cream stand, and the girl told the main character that was the woman who was trying to end things. The ice cream, the teenager told her, "Stay here, don't go." That's when I thought, "Oh, this is going to turn into a horror movie," but then it didn't.
so
That got me.
yeah. Well, yeah. I thought that just by the advertising that it would be more scary. Like it'd be more of a like that's what the advertising made it seem like, which I think was a mistake. It made you feel like people were gonna get like murdered. But it wasn't that.
I love how for the both of us, when we first watched it for the first time, which wasn't together, we didn't finish it. Like the first time I watched it, I got maybe 30 minutes into it, and then I stopped. But then I went back and finished the movie.
Yeah, with each other. We our second time was with each other, right? Yeah. So that does say something about it. It's like we couldn't. We had to like have someone else to hold us accountable to watching it. Otherwise, we probably would have gotten bored. And that might have said something about it being too abstract and complex, where it's like I can't even. This almost means so much that it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. Like it means everything, so it can't mean anything. Which for the human mind, I think that's tough to sometimes to grapple with. What do you think is the like what are the kind of movies that you really don't like? What are your least favorite movies, like genres or?
I'd have to say Western movies.
Why Westerns?
Well, okay, not Western movies, but
What?
let me think about the else.
But what? But what? I mean, listen, they're waiting. They're waiting for you to say something. Oh, damn. Did you hear that, motherfucker? She told you could wait yourselves down. I'm not editing this out. Yes, that's how podcasts work. We wait until the person says something. Yes. Well, normally, if a guest is good, they will have stuff to say, which I guess is not the Oke-Famakinde. Apparently, that's not.
Bring me on here and then vote.
Oh, that was the whole point, though, babe. I brought you on so I could roast you. Roast you. I said roast you. I'm sorry. Have I embarrassed you? Have I made a fool of it? Oh my god. I'm sorry.
You're choking me.
I'm not sure. What? Why am I choking you? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. You could probably beat me up, so that makes no sense, and that can't even be a thing.
I mean, I don't even know what question you asked me. Oh no, you were just roasting me. But I forgot what you asked me.
Yeah, I asked you. Why don't you like Western? What about the Western?
Well, when I think of Western movies, I think of
cowboys.
Yeah, cowboys and going to saloons or something with guns.
And that doesn't interest you?
No.
Why doesn't it interest you? I keep getting you with these follow-up questions.
Yeah, I think I like more horror movies and thrillers, horror and thriller, horror, thriller, and drama.
Okay. But you don't like The Shining.
I like the book better than the movie.
Oh, okay.
I love the book. Movie was okay. The movie was okay.
I've never read the books. I don't know if it's. I honestly can't say. Like how much better is the book compared to the movie?
The book is a 10 out of 10. The movie is like a 6 out of 10.
Oh,
or
really?
A 7,
That's it?
A 7.
A 7 out of 10?
It may just be because I feel like they couldn't do the the effects justice because it was made such a long time ago. So what I was imagining in my head as I was reading the book didn't translate to what the movie was showing. But the books
like what happens in the book that doesn't happen in the movie? Like what?
Well, the ending is different.
Oh, really?
An ending of the book, they show the young boy, forgot his name, as
Jack.
Jack, as is the young boy and the father? Do they have the same name?
Oh. Yeah, what's the Yeah, is Jack oh yeah, Jack Nicholson's character is Jack Torrance.
But
at the
end of the book, they showed the little boy older, and he had like a conversation with the man, Scatman. He had a conversation with him.
Danny's
Danny
the boy.
and Scatman had a conversation at the end. Or it wasn't Scatman because he died. I think. Anyway, he had a conversation at the end of the movie, but at the end of the book. But in the movie, it doesn't show him as an adult. But yeah, movies and books don't have to be exactly the same. I just thought that I liked the book better in this case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so on that note, what did you think of are you a fan of the Hunger Games series? Like the books and the movies, are you a fan?
I haven't read the books. I thought the movies were good at the time that I watched them. If I watched them right now, I think they would still be good, but not as good as when I watched them because I was younger.
Okay, well, we're both Harry Potter fans.
No.
But you haven't read the books either.
No, I started.
Damn.
I started watching the first, not watching, listening to the first book on audiobooks, but I didn't finish it. I thought the book was really good. It had a lot more detail than the movie.
Isn't that terrible that we haven't read the books?
No.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but I just know that the Harry Potter movies mean so much to me, and like I feel like our generation, as we were growing up, and like we didn't read the book, it's like sacrilege.
When you watched the Harry Potter movies, did you watch them as well? The relationship I have with the Harry Potter movies are the same that I have with the Star Wars series.
Okay.
Like I didn't see them as they were coming out. I just saw them recently.
Okay.
All of them back to back. I had a marathon for the Star Wars movies. In the beginning of the pandemic, I saw it was on Disney Plus, and I was like, "Oh, this would be a great use of my time."
Yeah,
and it was.
So wait, so you didn't discover Star Wars until the pandemic?
I've heard about it,
but you never watched it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, when I watched it, I was like, I was missing out.
Yo, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that you had watched them recently, but like I thought that was your first time. Damn. You went through 21 years of your life. Well, like, no, 22 without ever watching Star Wars.
I did that with the Marvel movies.
Well, the Marvel movies are fine or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, like, some of them are good, but like, I wouldn't equate the Marvel movies with Star Wars. I wouldn't put those on the same. That might be controversial of me to say, but well, actually, now that I think about it, there are probably more decent Marvel movies than there are decent Star Wars movies. Because I mean, think about it. The original trilogy they were great movies, just overall fantastic movies. Then you got the prequels, which had some good ideas, but like the first two movies are like really not that good, and the third one's good but not great.
You're talking about Star Wars.
We're talking about Star Wars right now. The prequels, 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the sequel trilogy, which in my opinion is really not that good. Like if you look at all of it, like Episode 7 was good, but that was because it was like kind of a retread of New Hope. It just kind of like made you feel like, oh, we're back in the Star Wars universe. Okay, cool. It was a very generic Star Wars story that we've seen before. Great. Then they went The Last Jedi, which I kind of dug. Had some writing problems, but overall I was like, cool. I like a lot of the decisions that were made in that by Ryan Johnson. Then Episode 9 comes on, it's bad. In my opinion, it's just really bad. And then they try to retread everything that they did in Episode 8, and it just didn't end well. Yeah. So yeah, there are probably more good Marvel movies than there are good Star Wars movies.
Unpopular opinion, but I liked all of the Star Wars movies. Well,
You liked all of them.
Well, I like the older ones a bit less, to be honest. Which is like
I know that's wow. I mean, I can understand that and also not understand that at the same time. I can understand that being like someone who, watches movies now and is like, everything has great special effects, everything seems real, and then you look at those movies and you can tell they were made in the 70s and 80s. But don't you think the original movies, they age better than the prequels because the prequels have like bad CGI in them that don't age well? I'm talking about episodes 1, 2, and 3, like with Jar Jar and Darth Maul and young Anakin.
I think they would. I don't know how they would age, to be honest. I don't know.
Well, like if you compare the prequels to how the sequel trilogy looked, like 7, 8, 9, they don't look nearly as good just because the technology is. So I feel like, at least with the original movies, yes, they look like they were made, from another time period, but also it's like they kind of look more realistic than the prequels because the prequels are like computer animated, but it's not that good. That's just my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
As far as effects, I mean, I can't really compare them because it was made in the 70s and the newer ones were made really recently. So they're so different.
Who's your, like, when you think of, so if you like all the movies, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
I'm not as
well, like if you just had to say one just off the top of your head, like you just had to think of one right now.
I like the one with Anakin and so I like the first one. The first one, it was number 1, but it was one of the more recent ones.
So 7? The Force Awakens?
I have no idea.
That makes no sense. I don't know what that even means. Babe, I can search this up for us. So we have Star Wars. Is it The Force Awakens?
It's the one when they showed Anakin as a child and his rise to darkness.
Oh, Episode 3. Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
That's when he actually like turns into Darth Vader.
I think so.
Like what happened in the movie?
Yeah, that's the one. No, it's this. Yeah, it was that one.
Oh, it's episode 2. You like episode 2? Wow. I didn't know that. You're an Attack of the Clones kind of person.
I low key don't know what movie I'm referring to.
Okay, yeah, we don't know which one she's talking about.
Like I said, I just watched those movies recently. Well, earlier this year, and I watched them all through. So I watched them back to back. So a lot of it just got muddled. All the information got muddled together. I haven't watched them more than one time, like you said. So I don't remember.
You like Attack of the Clones?
I think that's the one.
Okay, well, all right, babe. Your movie opinion is as valid as anyone else, and I applaud you.
Thank you.
It just with Attack of the Clones, that tends to be the people that people like the least. It tends to be the one they don't like just because that's the one where he's like he does that whole speech about sand. Anakin, he does that whole like I hate sand. It's coarse and rough, and he's not good. You don't know what I'm talking about, are you? You have no idea. Okay,
I'm not a super fan.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, well, let's. What do you want?
I don't remember.
Let's talk about Let's talk about a. Oh,
we can talk about the show that we just.
Oh my goodness. Both just falling off. Which one? You talking about Haunting of Hill House?
Yes, we can talk about both of them. Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor.
Yeah. Yeah, which one do you want to talk about first?
We can talk about the one that we can talk about them in order of when they came out. So
yes, okay. So we should talk about Haunting of Hill House.
Hill House. Yeah.
Yes.
I like that one a bit better.
Yeah. So just to give context, there's Netflix has 2 like anthology series about hauntings. Haunting of Hill House is one. Haunted of Bly Manor is the one that came after it. They're scripted series about families who live in haunted houses and how it affects them. We watched the Bly one first because I already had seen Haunted of Hill House and you hadn't seen any of them. So we watched the second one because it had just came out. And then after that, we just recently finished the Haunted of Hill House, which was the first one. So as far as Haunted of Hill House, I like that one better too. Just because I think they're both very different, but I think Haunting of Hill House felt more personal than Bly did. Felt like we were examining a broken family, even more so than following this ghost story. And the episodes are just fantastically written. Like the arc of the series is almost perfect. Like it's just like you examine each of the family members specifically, then you really dive into the grief that they all share, and it's just like it's really powerful. It's a really powerful one. And Bly is powerful in different ways, but it's not as it didn't feel as personal to me.
I anticipated some of the plot twists that happened in Bly Manor, but in the Hill House, I didn't expect a lot of the things that happened, like, especially with the bent neck lady.
Oh yeah, that episode is dope. Yeah, that's the 5th episode.
There is one thing that I anticipated in there, but
what was that?
You know how the dad would randomly just talk to himself?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, he must be talking to his wife.
Yeah.
But other than that, a lot of that was unexpected.
What did you guess in Bly? Like, what was the stuff that you guessed?
That the people were dead.
Oh, we should probably not tell people about that.
Oh,
That's like
yeah.
a major spoiler. We didn't tell who died. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you really guess at the big one? Like the big reveal in episode 5?
I don't remember it.
With the housekeeper lady?
Yeah.
You guessed that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. We guessed that. Like at the beginning of the episode, I said that. I was like, yo, that person is totally not alive and they're actually dead.
No, I said that and you said, what? Then how can we see her?
No, that's not how that went down. I remember that. I honestly remember it being reversed. I thought I said that, and you were like, "Well, how could they do that if they can't see? I mean, if they can see and interact with that person, how is that possible? I'm Nia, and I talk like this." My name is Nia, and I talk like this. Let me talk in the microphone like this. What's your? How do I talk? What's your impression?
You can't.
Oh, come on. I just did my impression.
And it sounded nothing like me.
My name is Nia, and I talk like this. I talk like a used car salesperson. Come on, what? I'd be interested in hearing what your impression is. You've done an impression of me before. I've heard you do it. Dude, no one cares if it sounds like me or not. Oh, babe, come on. Come on. No. Okay.
Ew, someone goes roaring. Chew on the ends of your pencils.
I do sometimes chew on the ends of my pencils, yeah.
Okay.
Now everyone knows. Great. Well, I only type. I don't write on paper because
you never have an eraser.
Yeah. It's a question that you want to ask me about life, about filmmaking, about movies.
I'd like to ask you, what made you want to pursue? What kind of impact do you want to make in your filmmaking journey?
Wow. Damn. You just answered the question of you just asked the questions of questions right there. What kind of impact? I mean, I want to feel like whatever I've created or make. Oh. Wow. I felt like that was like the universe just being like, hey, well, guys, there's some technical difficulties. Ow, my name's Nia. I'm going to make sure that we have some distraction. What were we talking about?
What impact do you
The impact, right. Yeah. I think it's like, well, you know, I got Tarkovsky's memoir. He's a Russian. Andrei Tarkovsky. We've talked about him before. I just got his memoir for Christmas, Sculpting Through Time or Sculpting in Time. Forget the exact title. But he expressed like making films like a prayer more so than a artistic expression. And I think that's kind of how I view my stuff. I'm just creating something, creating things, stories that come from my consciousness, and I want to invoke the thoughts, feelings, the consciousness that makes up me, put that into a piece of art, and then let that speak for itself, whether it is entertaining, whether it is giving people information. Hopefully it is changing themselves, it's giving them an insight into themselves and how they think and how they look at the world and how they behave, and maybe altering that for the better. To do something, it's for a service. I think it's much easier to create and to write and to do stuff when it's not about your ego, when it's more just about you're making art to serve others, to impact others with what you're doing.
Mhm.
So I feel like each script, each film, each thing is a prayer. It's a little thing that hopefully invokes a strong sentiment in the individual who experiences it or reads it or watches it, and is to hopefully give something to them.
Hmm. What inspired Niobe or Niobe?
So specifically Niobe,
Yes.
well, I think it honestly stems from loneliness
Mhm.
and that feeling of not being able to connect, right? And I think that developed in the character of Feme, like during that time, because I started writing the short film version of the series before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened, and then through the pandemic, that was when the series was created. Yeah, I think it started from a place of loneliness, and then I started to learn more things about myself while I was writing it, and it changed my perspective on just change, on technology. Honestly, that whole thing was a blur. Ryan, that thing was a blur. I don't. That's the thing. Like when I think about like what inspired me to write certain things, like I can remember an initial jumping off point, but a lot of the stuff just kind of happens. You know,
Mhm.
it's just kind of like you start off with an idea. Really, like that. Yeah, that the series was born out of my personal feelings on isolation and loneliness and being in a world where you had all this technology but you still felt so you could potentially feel so lonely and isolated, especially because the pandemic it sent us all into more loneliness, more detachment, more separation from one another. And I think that is emblematic of Feme and how he creates these items, these beings of technology for his own pleasure, but he's a lonely, insane individual. And this is and like how the world seemingly began to change, like the world, like our world, because of the coronavirus. It seemed like it was transitioning and going to the press. It was like on the precipice of evolving into this new type of world. Similarly, in Niobe, it's like AI is becoming mainstream, and we're like on the precipice of evolving into a different type of society. It definitely was also that. Like that was also a part of it. And then I just kind of got obsessed with the characters and
What made you make it so there's a lot of sexual elements in it.
yeah,
What inspired that? That was surprising when I read that. I was
all
like,
the like
what?
all of the well, because I mean, I think honestly, I read a lot of literature about this, like, and I was watching the AI podcast with Lex Friedman. I still watch that a lot, but I watched it a lot during the pandemic, and I think one of the episodes they were talking about sex robots, and they were like, "Will humans ever come to a time where they will prefer to have a relationship with a robot, even though a robot can't give you all the dimensions that a human relationship can give you? Will people still prefer that because of all the drama that stems from human relationships? Will they just want to bypass that and just have sex with a robot?" And they like had a genuine discussion about it. Um, and then I was just like, well, Feme is making all these female robots to show his dominance over them. It just made sense that it would go that far. And I think a lot of that was also like I was reading so much about the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, because that also came out during that time.
Mhm.
And I was definitely being influenced by the world around me, by the current events that was happening. But I wasn't trying to just like make a story that was like just representing those things literally.
Mhm.
I was more representing the mindset that would be needed to commit those acts.
Oh no, I actually want to tell you something.
Okay.
When I was in elementary school,
Yeah.
I made a book, a short story, and
Really?
it was a love story. I don't remember the details, or it was really short because I was in elementary school. But I just
Mhm.
wanted to share
What was it
that.
about?
And
Well, a
it,
love story. What was it?
I was actually really embarrassed because we got to get in groups and read each other's stories, and everyone's story was about like superheroes or actions or whatever. Not actions, but action. And mine was a love story, and I was like cheesy. Yeah,
Wait, so everyone's doing an action one, and you were the only one who did a love one.
yeah.
Oh, that's cute. What was it about? Well, but like, what specifically happened in it?
I have no idea. It was such a long time ago. Elementary school. I don't even. I wish I had the original. I wish I had the copy of it, but
Why didn't you ever tell me
unfortunately,
about
I
this?
don't. It, I just remembered it right now. I was like, hey, this would be a great time
To share that.
yeah, to share that.
That's awesome. Are you playing with tape? There's tape on my desk.
Maybe.
What are you doing with tape? Hey, get that out of here. I've really enjoyed talking with you like this.
Thank you.
This has been very fun.
I've enjoyed it as well.
I have one more question for you.
Okay.
Oh, also, if you have another question for me, we could totally do that too. But why do you like movies and television shows? What about them draws you in?
I'm sorry to say that the first thing that popped in my mind was to pass time. But I mean,
That is fair. A lot of people do that. Yeah.
when it comes to getting, yeah, for movies for a long time it was just to pass time. I feel like from books I go in there with the intention of learning something new, but I can also do that for movies, especially documentaries, which I do enjoy. I haven't watched a lot in a while. Yes. And since maybe like the beginning of this year. There's actually a new one that came out on Netflix by Matt Av I don't know his last name. But
What's the name of it?
it's called Minimalism, I believe.
Okay.
So it's about just living a minimal life,
Okay.
which I kind of enjoy. Minimalist ideas.
What were the lessons from the movie or the documentary?
I haven't watched it yet. It came out today, I believe.
Oh, we should watch that tonight.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I I remember after learning about minimalism and things like that, I threw a lot of my stuff out because it was like some of the stuff I haven't even touched or used.
You're big into not hoarding things.
Yeah.
You're like the antithesis of a hoarder.
It makes me anxious to just have tons of stuff around that I don't even use. Like, why is it here? Just to look at.
Wow. My family's the exact opposite. We're not hoarders, but like we're okay with having stuff around that we don't use all the time.
I mean, there are some things that I would keep and collect, but there's a lot of things that it wouldn't.
That's fascinating. Have you enjoyed being on the Courier 13 podcast?
Yeah, I liked it.
Do you think, do you have any questions for me?
Let me think about a question for Timothy.
Sorry, I keep touching your face. I don't know why I just. Sorry. I'm sorry. Is that not okay? She's stabbing me with the tape. She's stabbing me with the tape right
I'm
now.
not stabbing you, Timothy. I've never stabbed you.
You definitely have stabbed me before.
No, I have not.
Yes, you have.
Don't.
Folks, she stabbed me before.
A question I have for you is.
Yes. If you don't, that's okay. Just.
I don't think I have a question.
You have no questions, okay?
No thoughts.
Head empty. Well, you have been my favorite guest. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I love you. Can we kiss? Is that?
No.
I'll give you a peck on the cheek.
No.
And kissing.
Internet.
Taboo. Well, folks, thank you for watching this. This is a unusual Courier 13, but it's probably going to go down as one of my favorites. Probably my favorite. Thank you, guys. Again, thank you all for supporting us, for me supporting the show. This is probably going to come out tomorrow, so this was kind of our celebration of the new year. This was recorded on January 1st. So, guys, happy 2021. 2021 was a little crazy. Would you agree with that? That was.
Mm-hmm. Can I say something about myself?
Yes, you can say something about yourself, please.
Hey guys.
Talk about Being Murnii. Yeah, so Nia has a YouTube channel called Being Murnii, which is a self-development, self-enhancement YouTube channel that's about becoming your better self, your best self. Do you want to tell them about it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I made it with the intention to help people take basically control of their lives. Not necessarily control, but just feel empowered and realize that they have the ability to choose the direction that they go in life. It was inspired by my own life. A few years ago, I had like a dark time, and in search for not wanting to feel like that, I came upon a lot of books and mentors, and I learned a lot that has been very transformational. And I just wanted to do my part to help people as well, like the books and mentors that I came across have for me.
What can people find on your channel?
What did you say?
Like, what kind of stuff can people find on your channel?
Habits that I believe are transformational, and planning videos where we plan together. I have a series where we plan monthly at the towards the end of the year or beginning, and you just reflect on your performance in the prior year and what you can improve in, and how you want the new month to go.
That's awesome. Anything else? It's okay if there's nothing else to say.
Nope, but a lot of content I post is also on Instagram, so
that is true.
Check me out.
Follow. Okay, so definitely subscribe to our channel. It's great. It's at Being Murnii, right? That's what it's called.
Murnii means pure in Indonesia, so being pure.
Being pure. Being Murnii. Also, Instagram, you can follow. I definitely recommend that you follow her on Instagram for her channel, which is just at Being Murnii. Okay.
Murnii with 2 eyes.
Murnii with 2 eyes. Murnii. Being Murnii. I will post a link to her channel in the description of this video.
Thank you.
You're welcome, babe. I'm very proud of you. I think it's a really great show. It's a great channel. I mean, I've watched your videos and I've come out of it with insights and better ways of looking at my life and taking action and habits that will empower me to do better. So I think it will do the same for you guys out there who want to take a look. So I have nothing else to say other than thank you guys. Let's have a great 2021.
Thank you.
All right. I love you, baby. I can't even say I love you. That's too much. I do love the viewers. I do love them, but I love you. You're special. Thank you guys. We'll catch you later.
Bye.
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 Bye.